Chapter 3. Cittavagga, the Mind. 33. Just as a fletcher straightens an arrow shaft, a wise man straightens his mind, which is agitated and unsteady and difficult to guard and hold back.
The Buddha refers to the process through which a fletcher transforms an ordinary stick into an efficient arrow shaft. The disciplining of the mind is seen as being a parallel process. In this stanza the Buddha says that the wise one straightens and steadies the vacillating mind that is difficult to guard, like a fletcher straightening an arrow shaft.
34. Like a fish thrown up on dry land, pulled out from its watery home, throbs, and quivers, even so is this mind agitated, trying to throw off Mara's dominion.
When making an effort to abandon the realm of Mara, evil, the mind begins to quiver like a fish taken out of the water and thrown on land.
35. It is wonderful, indeed, to tame the mind, which is difficult to hold in, and flighty, ever swift, and seizing whatever it desires. A tamed mind brings happiness.
The mind is exceedingly subtle and is difficult to be seen. It attaches on whatever target it wishes. The wise guard the mind. The guarded mind brings bliss.
36. Let the wise man guard the mind, which is so difficult to detect and extremely subtle, seizing whatever it desires. A guarded mind brings happiness.
The mind moves about so fast it is difficult to get hold of it fully. It is swift. It has a way of focusing upon whatever it likes. It is good and of immense advantage to tame the mind. The tame mind brings bliss.
37. Dwelling in the chamber of the heart, the mind, without form, without a body, wanders far and alone. Those who subdue this mind are freed from the bonds of Mara.
The mind is capable of traveling vast distances, up or down, north or south, east or west, in any direction. It can travel to the past or the future. It roams about all alone. It is without any perceptible forms. If an individual were to restrain the mind fully, he will achieve freedom from the bonds of death.
38. Wisdom never becomes perfect in the one whose mind is unsteady, who does not understand the true Dhamma, and whose faith wavers.
If the mind of a person keeps on wavering, and if a person does not know the doctrine, if one's enthusiasm keeps on fluctuating or flagging, the wisdom of such a person does not grow.
39. If a man's mind is free of lust nor afflicted by hate, and who has abandoned making merit and demerit, then there is no fear for him while he is watchful.
For the person whose mind is not dampened by passion, unaffected by ill will, and who has risen above both good and evil, there is no fear because he is wide awake.
40. Realizing that this body is as fragile as a clay pot, and establishing this mind like a well-fortified city, attack Mara with the sword of wisdom. Then, guard the success, and remain unattached.
It is realistic to think of the body as vulnerable, fragile, frail and easily disintegrated. In fact, one must consider it as a clay vessel. The mind should be thought of as a city. One has to be perpetually mindful to protect the city. Forces of evil have to be fought with the weapons of wisdom. After the battle, once you have achieved victory, live without being attached to the mortal self.
41. Before long, alas, this body will lie upon the earth, unheeded and lifeless, just like a useless log.
Soon, this body, without consciousness, discarded like a decayed worthless log, will lie on the earth.
42. Whatever harm an enemy may do to an enemy, or a hater may do to a hater, an ill-directed mind inflicts on oneself a greater harm.
When one bandit sees another, he attacks the second bandit. In the same way, one person sees someone he hates, he also does harm to the hated person. But what the badly deployed mind does to the possessor of that mind is far worse than what a bandit would do to another bandit or what one hater will do to another hater.
43. Neither mother, father, nor any other relative can do one greater good than one's own well-directed mind.
Well-directed thoughts can help a person better than one's father or one's mother.